Hi, this is James of FluentGreekNT.com, the reading program that helps you learn to read the Greek New Testament. Yesterday, a subscriber canceled saying, and I quote, "Learning Greek is brutally hard," which inspired me to make this video on managing that difficulty to make it more doable, because it is doable. But first, I want to say a couple things. First, I want to honor that person and really anyone who's trying to learn Greek. Most churches and denominations these days aren't requiring pastors to be able to read the Greek New Testament. And therefore, if you are trying, I'm assuming you're doing it out of love for Christ, love for Scripture, and a desire to understand and teach it more accurately. And so I want to honor you for that. And next, I want to acknowledge that learning Greek is difficult. After all, there's the saying, "It's Greek to me," when something is hard to understand. And there's a reason I put a mountain on the homepage, because sometimes your Greek journey can feel like you're climbing a steep mountain. So let me give you maybe a bit of biography. I remember 20 years ago being in a Bible study and trying to explain Greek to one of my friends, and I gave him the example of the article. In English, the article is "the," and that's it. There's just "the." But in Greek, here are all the forms of the word "the," or the article. So there's 24 of them. To a beginner, this just feels really daunting, and you're like, what is going on? However, there's a reason all these different forms occur, and these aren't just used for the article. These are used all over the place. So once you learn this pattern, you know it, and you can recognize all sorts of different noun endings. So there is a method to Greek. And so what I want to say is that learning Greek is doable. The kind of Greek the New Testament is written in is called Koine Greek, which is Greek for the common people. So as the Greek culture spread across the ancient world, Greek was simplified because the people using it, maybe it was their second or third language. And so a lot of the harder forms dropped out and things became easier to understand. And that's the kind of Greek the New Testament was written in. And as one of my seminary professors would say, 3-year-olds in Greece can speak Greek, so you can understand it too. And lastly, I just want to say that Fluent Greek was created to lower the difficulty, to make it easier to learn. So again, here I want to offer you tips to manage the difficulty. So first is just getting your mindset right. Don't aim for perfection. Greek is hardest at the beginning, so give yourself grace. Imagine a young child learning their first language. It's a lot of babbling, a lot of confused sentences, using words wrong, and so on. Greek is like that for us at first, and that's perfectly okay. So give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. Next, I want to say that you shouldn't study for longer than you can sustain. So don't try to do marathon sessions, especially at the beginning when it's hardest, because the frustration will build and you'll just quit. You're trying to sustain your habit of studying Greek and reading Greek over a long period, over a year at least, maybe 2 years or so before you really get comfortable with it. So make your study sessions manageable. Next, I want to say that you should slow down. There isn't a hurry. You've got hopefully years to be able to learn. Let's say you're 22. Even if it takes you 3 years, you'll be 25 and still have, 60, 70, whatever years to be able to read Greek. So don't give up if you feel like you're not going to make it in 6 months. That's okay. And Fluent Greek is only $15 a month. I looked up where I went to seminary, and the standard coursework for Greek is $5,355. So as long as you complete the Fluent Greek program in under 29 years, you'll be financially ahead. So if maybe reading sentences like the following, maybe that's too hard for you, even after you kind of click on the words and see the definitions and things, maybe you're still uncomfortable, spend some time maybe in the vocabulary section, checking that out. Maybe spend some time in the paradigm section, learning how the words change form, or, go through the first verses section a few times. Or kind of really easy sentences. So this is just "I am" in Greek. and you can build up in difficulty. So again, just slow down, do what's comfortable. So you should be stretching yourself, but a comfortable stretch, not a stretch to breaking. The next thing I want to recommend is that you work on your weaknesses. So let's say you don't understand the sentence. So for advanced users, they're just going to be able to glance at this and it'll be understandable to them. But for some, maybe they've learned enough Greek to know what the words are. Maybe they can parse it, but they can't put the words together. So that person needs to work on their grammar. So maybe they can go to a grammar textbook and read up on the grammatical feature they're not understanding. Or maybe it's the parsing. So you can look and click See Paradigm. Here's all the different forms this word occurs. And you can start to recognize the changes and learn that way. Or again, go to a textbook and it'll be explained for you. Maybe you need to work on your vocabulary. Maybe you need to go work on your letters more, whatever it is. Next tip is to use the helps. So as you've already seen, every word can be clicked on. You can see the definition, the grammatical features, again, the paradigm for that word. And then I recommend a site like BibleGateway.com. You can copy and paste the book, chapter, verse, and look it up in a couple different versions to see how they translate it. So you've kind of understood each word, but it's maybe not fitting together. So then you see, okay, here's how the ESV does it. Here's how the New English Translation does it. And then you can see the footnotes for like a very literal word for word sort of a translation. Next, I want to say that more resources are better in my view. So in the syllabus of the site, I recommend 4 different textbooks. And the main reason for that is that different authors explain things in different ways. Maybe one of them clicks for you, maybe another doesn't. And so maybe you don't know what a nominative noun is, so you go read that chapter and you don't quite understand it, or maybe you just want to refine your understanding, so go to a different textbook. The nice thing about the Fluent Greek program being so much cheaper than seminaries is maybe you can spend more money on books. And I also want to recommend this site, and I'll put a link in the description, that has all sorts of free resources, including free lectures that you can check out. So to go kind of to a higher level, you set the difficulty of your reading program, of your learning program. If it's too hard, just back it off. You can either slow down or go down a level. And really the final thing I want to say is that you can reset your account. So go to Manage Account and click Reset Fluent Greek, and then it'll take you back to the beginning. So maybe you've clicked Next, and you've clicked Next, and you've gone beyond your ability to read the sentences. Just revert your account, and that's okay. Again, there's no hurry here. And if you revert too far, maybe the beginning is too easy for you, well, just click Next faster and you'll be back to where you are comfortable. So again, set your difficulty where you're stretching yourself, but in a comfortable, sustainable way. I hope these tips have been helpful for you. Please give this video a like so YouTube will show people more content like this, and have a great day. God bless.